are currently seeing. So now once they have come up with this, so what exactly they do? Once they have come up with this, these business analysts is they will document everything. So they will write the documentation. So documentation is simple. Sorry, what exactly it is documentation? They will write a simple English language which is about each of the modules. Currently the modules are these, right? So once they have come up with the documentation, what they have done is just before getting so now what they've done is they have done with the documentation. So after they're done with the documentation, if you directly give to the developers, they may not, the first problem is the writing which you're, each people may have a different understanding when they're trying to, read the language. Also, there are chances, if the document contains huge number of pages, that being a technical guys, they may not be so interested to understand it. And also, if someone wants to go back and update it, it is difficult to read a complete module. So what they does is the business analyst team, along with the documentation, they will also come up with something called as UML diagrams. No, the class which are we are learning today, this will give you an overall idea of when a project has started or a project which is already in the middle, what exactly happens, what are the different kinds of people who are involved along with you. So we will see in detail of those. So once they come up with the documentation, in this documentation it talks about this in an English format. Say they say login module. Whenever a registered user logs into a Facebook application by entering the correct user ID and correct password, and when he clicks on the login button, he will be landed into his respective home page. And in the home page, he will have the tabs to add a friend. He will have the chat messenger. So everything they document it in English format. And once they do that, what they do is that into the UML diagrams. So UML stands for modeling language. So this unified modeling language is either English language or a programmatic language. This is a language between and development of application. Just quickly for you guys to give an example, say once they are done with the documentation, they want to give a UML diagram for all these, right? They want to give it in a pictorial way. Say assume we take a module called as login. So what they does, everything they depicts in a pictorial way, saying they will say there is one actor called as the user. They will write this, and you will have something called as use cases. So they say ID, and here they will say enter path, and also they may say login button. Say once the user enters the user ID, and then the user enters the password, and then when the user enters the login button, then he should see he should see a login page. So the same whatever is documented here in the English, that they will keep it in the pictorial way. So once they do and once they save this, once they are done with the documentation and this, a new team called as UX team will come into picture. The roles which we will see is you will have UX team, you will have UI team, you will have the dev team, you will have called as product owner, PO, and you will have someone called as. So we will see in detail what does this each role each people do. So once they have come up with this, and once they have this UML diagram, so anyone from the UI team in this room, so can you tell me what would be the web element for user ID? I'm saying enter user ID. So where you will enter that user ID? So anyone from this room can actually answer this. So say, I am saying enter user ID. So with this diagram, so just imagine, just think, where you will enter the user ID. What would be the place in a web page where you will enter the user ID?